So I'm Daryl Jacobs. I'm here with 5D Ranch Chuckwagon. We have a wagon that we built, made a Chuckwagon out of, and it's 1890s, early 1900s Chuckwagon, made in South Bend, Indiana. And we use it to cook on competitions, caterings, and stuff like that, gatherings and benefits. So just to tell you some of the things that we got here. So you got your chuck box here. This is what they use to feed the cowboys. That's what the cookie used to use to feed the cowboys out of. They usually fed about 10 to 15 cowboys off of the Chuckwagon on a trail drive. They'd have, 1,000 head of cattle with 10 to 15 cowboys, and he would be the man. He would be the cook for all of them, and he would use this tailgate to cut up his meat, to make his biscuits. He'd use he had different things like the meat cleavers and knives and saws that he used to process the meat with, and then he only had lanterns to use for light, and he's usually up about 3:30 in the morning getting breakfast ready. Okay, and then he'd have breakfast for the cowboys. They'd get out at daylight or right before daylight and start pushing the cattle, and he would have to take the Chuckwagon and get in front of them. And he'd get in front of them, and he would set the wagon up. Him and the horse wrangler usually would set the wagon up for the evening meal. Okay, they didn't stop for lunch. The cowboys grabbed a biscuit and probably a piece of dried beef or something like that. If they had a piece of salt pork left from breakfast, they might stick that in their saddlebag, wrap it up in their handkerchief, and that was their lunch. So he could cook the evening meal for them. Most cattle drives, when they first got started, they didn't cook real fancy meals. They just cooked pinto beans, biscuits, and if it was a special occasion, he might make a dessert. So beans and biscuits was their main serving. That's all. But every once in a while, they'd have a calf that would maybe a steer that wouldn't be able to make it on the trail, and they'd have to process it right then, and it would last them about 3 days, before it would turn bad and spoil the meat. Okay?
Now, how would you carry your water?
So we have a barrel on the side, 30-gallon water barrel. 30 gallons was made to last